Of course, you have the wine first.
Absolutely.
What are you making tonight?
Doing crispy skinned salmon with some dill. We're going to make some potato. I don't know what we're going to do with the potatoes. We're going to cook them on the fire or boil them, I'm not sure. Maybe cook them on the fire in some butter. But we're going to make some braised cabbage. And this is something we do quite a bit. Braised cabbage with butter and bacon. I'm just going to chop that white cabbage, just making sure there's no bits of root or anything in there like that.
Did I fail?
Yeah.
Did I?
So cabbage chopping, Ali, not yet competent. You need to do that assessment again.
Well, that's easy then.
That's really easy. This is like the easiest thing and it's so good. Then we just got some bacon. This is actually just some cheapo cooking bacon from Aldi, which actually is brilliant because it's like half the price of anything else. And if you want to chop it up, it actually doesn't matter. You chop it up just roughly. All you want really is a bit of flavour from it. So this knife, right, is one of the first knives I had when I was a young apprentice chef when I was 18 years old.
Oh,
and actually a friend of mine's parents bought that for me in Spain because they knew I was starting an apprenticeship and bought that home. And the blade used to be like, you know, like twice the thickness of that. But that's how long I've had it, and all the sharpening of it, it's just like worn the blade down. But it's still one of my favourite knives. The bacon, like I say, I've just sort of chopped it up roughly. It doesn't really matter how you chop it. So I've chopped up a fair bit of bacon, but that bit I'm saving for my breakfast. Cabbage, I'm not really mixing it in because as that heats up, like the fat and the flavour from that bacon is going to like melt down through the cabbage. Big lump of butter. And again, I'm not going to mix that in or anything because as it cooks in the fire, it's just going to kind of melt down, and you know, we'll give it a stir at some point. Alright, so it's ready to go on the fire. Just stick the lid on, like that. And then I'm just going to put that on the edge of the fire. I don't want it to get too hot, because what you don't want is you don't want all the butter melting to the bottom and then burning and like having burnt butter in there. So it's kind of like it's braising. So you want, like, if you think about that and you're putting it in the oven, you'd put it in the oven at like 150 degrees. So you don't want it on like the hottest part of the fire. You want it on like a, you know, a slightly cooler part of the fire. So I'm not putting it directly above the flame, I'm sort of putting it like next to the flame. So we did the cabbage, and what are we doing? We're going to do some spuds. I'm just cutting them in half, and we could leave them whole, but they'll cook a little bit quicker if they're cut in half. That is some olives that we had earlier. That's like a bit of olive oil and a bit of chilli and stuff, and the flavouring from the olives. So I'm actually just going to like flavour the potatoes with that. It's going to be awesome. Nothing gets wasted. When you're camping, you know, like use everything. That's it, we've got that with there. I've got a little bit of olive oil. Just going to put a bit of olive oil on there too. I'm also going to just prepare the salmon. So we just got salmon, skin on. All you got to do to make crispy skin, it's a bit like doing pork. You know when you do pork crackling, you put salt on the skin to like draw out the moisture, and that makes it all crispy. You do the same with fish. Salt the skin and it will draw out the moisture, and then when you cook it skin side down first, and you'll end up with that nice crispy skin, and it's awesome.
So salmon isn't exactly a budget-friendly dinner, is it?
Well, no, but I couldn't be bothered to get the fishing rod out and go and catch it. Look at the cabbage.
Yeah, why not?
So the cabbage is already kind of like, see how that's kind of like you've got moisture in the bottom. That moisture is creating the steam that's kind of cooking that cabbage. Ali found some fresh dill, and as everybody knows, dill and salmon are just like almost like Ali and Mike Bareham, you know, as in a match made in heaven. Like we're camping, it's rustic, you know what I mean? It's like, don't take it too seriously. So that's the salmon that I salted earlier, so that salt's drawing the moisture out so they get crispy thin salmon, like skin side down, nice and crispy. I might put a bit of butter with it to finish it off and put that dill through it.
So very simple.
Very simple, but delicious. Soft and bacony and buttery, and that is delicious.
So skin side down.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, because you want the skin to go crispy first, like meat or fish or anything, like steaks or whatever. You do not need to move it around. Just put it in the pan and leave it alone.
So that's when you hope that I don't get anywhere near to it?
Yeah, exactly, because you prod it and poke it and move it around. Before I turn it over, I've just kind of mixed a bit of that dill with some of the olive oil. And I'm going to kind kind of spread that on the top. It's been on skin side down for about 10 minutes or so, so I'm hoping that the skin will be nice and crispy. Oh yeah, look. See that skin? Like sort of browned and crispy. Salmon to be pink in the middle. So I'm just going to sort of sear the sides as well as the bottom. Over onto the other side for a couple of minutes. It's still pink, but that's what we want.
Good. He knows not to put it on my tablecloth.
Yeah, I'm not that silly. Some dill, so butter, dill. Just going to put that in there. Oh, I don't want it on fire because it will burn. So all I want to do is really just melt that and get like a buttery, dilly kind of without it actually burning. The cabbage will go on just a sec. But I've got this buttery, dilly sauce. Look at that.
Very simple camp meal.
Very simple, all cooked on the campfire.
And if we didn't have salmon, what would your alternative be for a cheaper option?
Well, any fish really.
Yeah.
You know, like if you could go and catch something, that'd be awesome.
But you're not very good at catching things, are you, Con?
Whatever. I caught you.
Are you?
I caught you.
Yum.
Oh, what's
That's
it like?
really nice. Let me just taste the salmon. Perfect. Look, it's pink in the middle. It's crisp on the outside.
Your plate's quite empty, or nearly.
It is my last bit of salmon.
And how was it?
Delicious.
Cooked on a campfire.
Very easy. Very quick.
You don't really want that last potato, do you?
And very healthy. You go.
That is delicious.
Do you want my wine too?
No, I got one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wine on a budget.
That was a delicious meal.
It was very nice, thank you.